Nah, come on, Elizabeth. Come on, Elizabeth. Don't you honk me. Don't you hiss at me, lady. Don't you hiss at me. Hey. Hey. You got to come off of this nest, lady. You got to come off of this nest, lady. Honk. My precious girl. Come on. Come on. You cannot sit here all day, Elizabeth. Oh, come on. Let's go. Let's go. You're such a good girl. Okay, here you go. Okay. Good girl. Good girl. Elizabeth. Elizabeth. I hear you, honk. Uh-oh. Come on, Bert and Ernie.
Hey, stop circling. I only got one hand.
You tell him, Liz. Look at those beautiful blues. My goodness. Oh, she hissing at you, Luke.
Remember that duck that you told me not to let out? Go grab him and bring him over here.
What's going on, Tori? What's up, Lurky Turkey? How you doing, pretty girl? Got your guinea bitties? Are these your guinea babies? Oh, I don't know this. I wouldn't let these out. We're not going to be able to tell who goes where. Oh, someone's over here getting some snacks. Uh-oh. That's Gimp right there. Hey, Gimpy. What? Are you being spicy? Are you being spicy today? Are you spicy? Grumpy. You grumpy. Spicy turkey. Hey, Holiday, what's going on, my guy? What's going on? What a handsome boy. Hey, Daniel. Hey, Fearless. Welcome to the live. These crazy guinea birds, man. These are some crazy birds. Hey, Deanna. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. What's up, goobers? What's up, goobers? No, y'all already got you. You got to eat yesterday's food before I bring out today's food. Y'all are so wasteful. Hey, Pixel Puncher. Welcome to the live. Okay, cool. Never sure with names. These guys are cute. They're little monsters, though. I'll go show y'all. We had one. It actually freaked me out last night. Pumpkin. I haven't released the video on it yet. I've been making videos, like, documenting it. But Pumpkin, the goose, had a huge tick on his eye. Like, right at the corner of his eye. And I just noticed it yesterday, and it was so big, I thought he had an eye injury and his eyeball was hanging out. But it turned out to be a tick. And so he's got an eye infection now from that nasty tick. And look at him. Isn't he beautiful? But you can see his eye is wonky. And so we're treating him. We have a medicated eye ointment on hand for eye issues like that. And so we're treating him for that eye infection now. And so that's why he is separated from everyone else. I don't want him getting his head down in a pool and getting more bacteria in his eye. And I just don't want him to have to deal with the rest of these birds while he's not feeling well. I'm glad to have your subscription, Fearless. People are starting to watch. Yeah, that's good. I appreciate having everybody. We are working very hard to meet the requirements to monetize the channel. We have 6.7 million views on our shorts over the last 90 days, but we have to get to 10 million. And I've got about 4 weeks or so to get there before a lot of our views start dropping off. So I got to get about 3.3 million views over the next 4.5 weeks or 5 weeks or so, something like that. And then we can monetize the channel. That would be really good because that would bring in a lot of support for the sanctuary. But I appreciate everyone watching. And I appreciate y'all's comments. Hey, Nicole, welcome to the live. Oh, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. So this is Big Bird right here. This guy. He's a shelter rooster. The shelter called us up. They were over capacity. And they called us up one day and said, we got some roosters for you. And so we went and picked him up along with another one. But this guy's a really nice guy. He's pretty friendly. He's never made an aggressive move towards anyone since he's been here. And then we got Holiday over here showing off as usual. Look at that handsome boy. You are the most handsome Turk.
Are you on TikTok live?
Nah, I'm on YouTube. I'm not messing around with that trifling TikTok anymore. I'm a YouTube guy. What's up, Onyx? This is Onyx. Onyx was a feed store surrender. Onyx only has one eye, and he does really well, though. And he is possibly one of the sweetest roosters you will ever meet. He has the nicest temperament. He has not once in his entire life made an aggressive move towards a human. We've had him since he was a baby. He came to us as a very sickly chick. There was one year where we were getting a lot of, where Tractor Supply was using a new brooding system that was killing thousands of babies. And thankfully, after a lot of public uproar, they got rid of all those brooders and went back to the old method, which was much safer for the babies. But anyway, Onyx was a part of a group that came to us, and we had about a 20% survival rate. By the time they got to us, they were so sick, they all had coccidia. But Onyx is one of the few that survived, and he's doing really well, and he's an absolutely gorgeous and wonderful addition to the sanctuary. I'm going to show y'all my favorite rooster, though. Let him out. Nah, well, so we only let one rooster out at a time because otherwise it's too much for the hens. So we rotate the roosters out so everyone gets a chance to come out and visit with their girlfriends. But they all get their day and we just kind of cycle around. But this is Rudy. Rudy is absolute sweetheart too. He's really nice. He's being a little camera shy right now though. Rudy, where you going, man? He's like, I'm camera shy. I'm not performing today. Rudy, so handsome. He's something else though. He's a really nice bird. But that's my favorite rooster. And then this is Friendly. What's up, Friendly? See, these guys all get these very large day enclosures, so they're not really confined that much. Hey, but they all get to take turns outside and visit with the ladies. I see you showing off. You're not fooling anybody. You're not fooling anybody. We all know you're a big old softy. You're a big old softy. You could put on this show all you want, and I know you're a big old softy. This is not an aggressive rooster either. He's really nice. His name's actually Friendly, so. Let's see. Hey, United Earth. Welcome to the live. Good to see you here. This is Elizabeth. This is the famous one. She's the one that's got all the views. And this is her sister. This one right here is Victoria. Are you going to hit them snacks, Lizzie Goose? That's Maverick. Hey, Maverick. You guys getting them snacks? Huh? Oh, thank you. Well, we're doing the best we can. Everything's a muddy mess right now. It's hard to keep everybody clean. We've just been getting nonstop rain for the last few days, and so everything looks like a mud hole. But this is actually wood chips. It's actually pretty nice when it dries out. Have we brought out Fancy yet? I think Fancy needs to be gotten.
He does. You could put him in there.
Well, we got to put Sage in there. You're not going to leave Sage out all day, are you?
No, but you could put Sage in front of Speck and Marmalade.
All right, well, let me go get Fancy.
Is someone in the triangle?
Yeah, Milkshake's in the triangle. Hopefully I don't lose my signal going all the way in here. Hey, Fancy, what's up, my guy? It's real dark in here. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. All right. Oh, watch. What are you doing? All right. Sorry, guys. It's kind of tight space in there for his... We're running a little behind schedule getting everybody out today. Oh, we were going to put him over here. Usually everyone's been out for quite a while at this point. There you go. There you go, Fancy. We'll get you some snacks, my guy. We'll get you some snacks. Hey, Lisa. Welcome to the live. I'm glad you showed up. Glad you're here. Huh?
You gotta put Clucky over there.
All right, well, I was getting ready to feed this guy. All right. What? You said to put Fancy here. What did you think I was going to do?
I said put him in front of Marmalade instead.
I thought you said to put Sage over there.
That's fine. It doesn't matter. As long as everybody comes out, it doesn't matter.
I do have a lot of birds. We are an animal sanctuary. We're a non-profit animal sanctuary, and we take in the neglected and the unwanted and the, birds that don't have anywhere to go, and we do the best we can with the space we have. And we care for about 70 animals here on the sanctuary. Look at these two. This is Sage on the left and Rosemary on the right, or, well, Rosemary's more in the front now. But that's why I have so many birds, is because we are a safe haven for these animals. What's up? What's up, gooses? You guys are so beautiful. Flip-flop. Flip-flop, what's up? What's up, Flip-flop? Look, we got one random chicken all the way down there. She knows where all the good bugs are. That's what she's doing, is she's getting them bugs. Oh, there's another one right there. What? Y'all have food. There's food in that bowl. Let me go check. Did you eat it all already? I'll go check. I will check to see. But I bet you there's food in that bowl and y'all are just lying. I bet that's what's going on here. You're trying to trick me into giving you the fresh snacks. Let's see. Oh, there's plenty of food in here. There's plenty of food. Hey, man. Hey, Flip-flop. You like all the names? Yeah, they're all, so this is, oh, hold on, my hand's in the way. So this is Ted, Tom, Steve, and Baby. And they're named after that old 90s movie, 3 Men and a Baby, or it might have been an 80s movie, I don't know. But I just named one of them Baby one day, and then I just kind of took it from there. And Ted, Tom, and Steve are all actors that played in that movie. Pet a chicken? You got to catch a chicken first. This is Raven over here. She probably won't let me touch her. What's up, Raven? She's on to me. She's like, you are not catching me, human. You are not catching me. What's up, Henry? That's Henry right there. Look at him. Isn't he gorgeous? Oh, you loved that film. Yeah, I need to find it and watch it again. It's been so long. But yeah, so I named him after Ted Danson, Steve Guttenberg, and Tom Selleck. What, Flip-flop? What is it? What is it, sir? What's going on? How is your day? How are you doing, beautiful boy? How are you doing, my beautiful boy? You're looking good. This is the guy the sanctuary's named after, this guy right here. How you doing? Huh? Looking good, man. Looking good. He's like, I'm thinking about taking a bath. What? What? What are you doing, Sonny? This is Sonny right here. What are you doing, man? Honk, honk, honk. Yes, we are all vegan here on the sanctuary. All of the board members of the sanctuary are vegan. And we are 100% volunteer run here. What's up, Henry? Man, it's so nice out right now. I mean, it's all rainy, but like I just love all the green foliage around here. So much peace and privacy. But anyway, you guys have all the snacks you're getting. I'm not giving you any of that new food until you eat the old food. Nah, you can't be wasteful. You can't be wasteful. Sorry. Whoa, about step down in that hole. No fun. All right, let me fix this real quick, y'all. Last thing I want is these boys getting in with the girls. We keep the boys and girls separate right now because it's just too much for all the girls. I don't have any, I don't even know that, I don't even think I could buy something like that on Amazon. The swimming pools, we're actually in desperate need of the swimming pools, but the problem is that the only thing, ever since COVID, the only thing Walmart carries are these little ones, which are fine for the ducks. I mean, they're not expensive. They're like $7 for one of those, you know, or 10. They're like $10. Well, they used to be 7. Now they're 10. But the big ones, nobody carries them anymore. And the next option for that is like this stock tank. I've thought about getting it, but it's about a foot deeper than that. And my concern is a chicken having a problem. Like if a chicken jumps in there, they can just stand up in there and hop out. But if it were 2 feet deep, you know, the chicken could drown. And so, I don't know, but this one's full of holes. And that's the last one we have. So maybe we'll get lucky and Walmart will start carrying them again for this summer. 23 Celsius in England, huh? I don't know what that converts to in Fahrenheit, but it sounds like it's kind of chilly. I mean, what is that, like 70 degrees? I've got no idea. What's up, gooses? These guys are so beautiful. And these guinea birds are just complete nut jobs. People always love when I post about them. I really should put more stuff up about them because they are absolute characters. What's up, Turkey Lurkey? Okay, I will add them to the wish list. I am surprised. I don't even know how they would ship something like that. Yeah, if they sell the bigger ones, well, I'll put even the little ones on there because we've got a couple of little ones right now, but they're wearing out. Y'all want to see the emus real quick? It's really hot for y'all there? Oh, okay. Yeah, I know England has a much wetter and cooler climate than we do here, although I say that and it's rained basically every day for the last week here. Like I laid all this plastic out yesterday, like, you know what, let's lay it out and get it to dry, and then it rained all night last night. Been working on getting the garden going, putting some tomatoes and marigolds and things like that in the ground. Hey, Sam. Hey, Sam. This is Sam. Hey, girl. Are you thumping at me? Y'all hear that thumping? Y'all hear him thumping? Isn't that cool? That's a mating call. There's Corona down there. You believe these girls are 19 years old? But they've got a nice spot here. They've got a lot of space to run around. They actually have like a double sectioned area. They've got this upper area that's a little smaller, but then they've got a really long run down below they can go to if they want to run around. Yeah, Just a Mom, I really appreciate you checking on that. I will. I'll add them to the list. I can't really do it while I'm on the live stream, though, but I will add them to our wish list. You know, we did recently become eligible to kind of sort of monetize on YouTube. We can't qualify for shared revenue on the ads yet, which is really what we want. But we can do these membership things, but I don't know that I'm going to do them because we already have Patreon, and I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. I don't want to start promising things to people that I can't produce reliably. And so I think I'm just going to start posting a little more about the Patreon. The other thing is, like, and I guess probably most people don't know this, but YouTube takes 30% of membership fees. So if I set up a membership for 10 bucks, when y'all subscribe, y'all are paying YouTube $3. Whereas Patreon only takes 8%. And so that's a very big difference. And the other issue, and really that wasn't like the nail in the coffin. The nail in the coffin was there's no way. I can only gift 5 free subscriptions per month. And so I would be basically giving these exclusive perks to people on YouTube, but then my members on Patreon would not be able to, you know, take part. They wouldn't be able to take part in like members only live streams or posts or things like that. So I'm still kind of mulling it over, trying to figure out how I can work it out. But I think for now we're just going to stick with Patreon just because they don't take so much. I don't know why YouTube needs 30%, but that's an awful big chunk that they take. Especially because they're already running ads on all my videos and not sharing any revenue. So I think they're already getting paid, you know. Hey, Pippo, you're vegan for the animals? I'm vegan for the animals. That's awesome. That's wonderful to hear. You dream of living in England's climate. Oh, your friends think it's perfect for you? You know, I prefer cooler weather like we're having right now. I'm fine with this, but not a fan of super hot or super cold weather. Maryland is pretty good for the most part. Our winters, most of the time, like at night, will go into the mid-20s, like in January and February. And then during the day, we're usually in the mid-30s Fahrenheit. So pretty chilly, but not horrible, you know. And then in the summertime, it'll get into 80s and 90s pretty frequently, but it's, again, not absolutely horrible. So, yeah, Pippo. Yeah, you would think a company like Google that profits billions and billions of dollars a year would have some kind of program for nonprofits, like a reduced fee structure or something. But they don't. They don't really have anything. But a lot of companies do. A lot of good companies like Canva. I really love Canva. I use them for making like my thumbnails for my videos. They give if you're a certified nonprofit, they give you a free subscription to their professional model, their top tier. So I don't have to pay anything for Canva. So I really like that company. They're really good to nonprofits. Another good company that we've been working with is Harrison's Bird Food. We get those for the parrots in the house, and Harrison sells to us at wholesale prices, which is really nice because a bag of the parrot food costs like $230 or something like that for a 25-pound bag. Yeah, I fed the cats. Okay, but Harrison's will sell it to us for like $150. So that's really nice too. But yeah, it is kind of crazy how a company the size of YouTube, I mean, they don't have to give you anything for free, but they could realize that, you know, hey, these membership fees could be structured better for nonprofits. Well, thank you, Pippo. Yeah, I hope I'm saying your name right. Is it Pipo or Pippo? Pippo? Looks like Pippo. But I really appreciate all the support and y'all watching the videos and whatnot. I like making them and sharing them. What's this guy doing? Look, he's got a swimming pool and he's playing in the mud puddle. Flip Flop, is that you? No, yeah, that's Flip Flop. Yeah, that's Flip Flop. Flip Flop, what are you doing? He's like, I'm playing in the mud. The water birds absolutely love a rainy, muddy day. Oh, cool beans. Cool beans. Go back up over here. Oh, I'll show y'all Milkshake. Check in on Milkshake. Hey, Milkshake. How are you doing in here, buddy? This is a silky rooster in here. Hey, man. So someone got him. They lived about an hour and a half away, and they got him with a bunch of hens, and he was supposed to be a hen too. And their neighborhood wouldn't allow roosters, so they tried to make him a house rooster, but the lady's husband wasn't having it. He got fed up with him, and so she drove him all the way here so he could live out his life on Sanctuary. But he's a really nice guy too, aren't you, Milkshake? He's got kind of a messy hairdo because it's raining today. Milkshake, your hair's all wet, buddy. But he's a nice guy. He's kind of goofy. He's got extra toes on each foot. That's a silky trait, though. Most silkies have extra toes. Let me get this latched back up. There we go. Oh, come on now. This is a lot easier with two hands, y'all. Let's see. There we go. Stalker. What's up, Stalker? You got to go over with the goobers. You got to go over with the boy geese. It's 73 degrees Fahrenheit? Okay. What's the sigma? I don't know. What's a sigma? I don't know what that means. You know, another thing that people didn't realize, because I put that post up talking about being able to do memberships on YouTube, and a lot of people didn't even know we have a Patreon, and they were like, well, you should set it up so you can sponsor specific animals. And I'm like, I set that up years ago on Patreon. You can go over to Patreon and actually sponsor your favorite animal. And I don't have every single animal on there, but if you have a specific animal in mind that you would like to sponsor, if you let me know, I can actually put a place for them. But at a certain point, I had like, I don't know, 30 different Patreon tier levels, and it was starting to get a little more complicated. But Patreon's the preferred method. They send us a disbursement once a month, and it's very helpful. It goes right into the animal feed fund. It costs us about $500 a month to feed everybody, and we buy the animal feed about every 6 weeks because we have to drive so far to get it. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate that. But, you know, when COVID hit, right before COVID hit, a bag of animal feed costs about $16. And after about a year of COVID, and still to this day, by the way, that same bag of feed costs almost $24. And so what we ended up doing was we skipped the feed store and we went right to to a farmer's mill, like a market kind of thing. It's like an Amish market. And we started buying there, and now we pay about $17, between $17 and $18 for a bag of feed. But we have to drive. It's about an hour and a half round trip. Not horribly far away, but we just try to maximize, you know, how much we can get. And we basically buy as much as we can keep safe from the rodents. If we had more storage, we would actually probably only go every 6 months or so and just buy a ton of it, because it is difficult for us to leave the property. Someone's got to stay here and keep track of everybody while the other one goes. But we actually store all their feed in metal trash cans, and we have a couple of metal truck boxes, but that's all the room we have. Look at Holiday, isn't he handsome? Holiday, they say you are a magnificent bird. You are magnificent. He's such a sweetheart too. He's a very nice boy. Yeah, Holiday follows me everywhere. He's showing off right now. He knows he's handsome.
I decided to put stage over there, given her propensity to stick her head where it doesn't belong.
Okay.
So put Plucky in front of Marmalade instead.
All right, can you put some fresh straw in there for him?
Yeah. Will you come help me for a minute, honey?
I got one last rooster to put out. He's a bit of a troublemaker, so he's the last guy that gets to come out. He's not mean to me. He never attacks me, but he will attack Mom. Mom's walking around with a brace on her wrist right now because one of the other roosters, she actually startled him. It was dark out, and he spurred her. I'll show y'all. Hold on, I'm going to show y'all. Where's Foghorn? Oh, here he is. I want to show y'all something. This is the guy that did it. He is not normally an aggressive rooster, but he was startled. Hold on. So I'll give you guys an idea of what Mom's dealing with. Hey, Foghorn. Come here, buddy. I want to show people your spurs. Do you see that spur right there, that sharp pointy thing up on his leg? It's about 1.5 inches long. It's as pointy and sharp as a needle. And it packs quite a punch. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. You're a good boy. It's okay. So he got startled and he kicked Mom, not out of aggression, I guess, just because he was startled, but he got her right between her fingers on her hand. And it stabbed way up into her hand. So she had to go to the hospital over that and get antibiotics because her hand started getting infected and blowing up like a balloon. Not to mention how painful it must have been. I've actually had the same injury, but I guess I got lucky. I didn't end up having to go to the hospital. But it stays quite painful for a while. But anyway, that's why Mom's I've got my nephew over here. He's basically Mom's assistant. How's the goose doing that got hurt by the turkey? At this point, I have lost track. I don't even know. Did we have a goose get hurt by the turkey? Did someone get hurt by a turkey? I think maybe we're getting something mixed up. I'm not sure. I have Maverick. My most recent goose issue is Maverick, and she was having an egg laying problem. Maybe you were watching an older video. So much goes on that if it happened 6 months ago, most of the time I can't remember what's where. But this is Maverick right here, and she was having a problem laying eggs about a week ago. And I did document that and post about it. And what we ended up doing, we try to pay really close attention to these birds and their behaviors. And we noticed that her behavior was off, and she was just acting strange. And when we paid closer attention to how she was moving and standing, she was basically acting like an egg-bound bird. And so I brought her in the house and I soaked her for about a half an hour in a warm Epsom salt bath. And then I brought her back out here and I put her in an isolation cage. And by that evening, she was able to lay her egg. And then it was confirmed that she was having egg issues because the next egg behind that was a soft-shelled egg, and that was probably the one that was causing the problem. And basically, it was an egg that never firmed up. It never got firm. And then I've got Pumpkin, who actually, I'll show you. I showed him earlier in the live, but I'll show you all again. What's up, Holiday? Looking good, my guy. I cannot wait until he molts. He gets all new feathers in once he molts. Okay, well, we'll put her separate. Yeah, she looks like she's been feeling off for a while. I think it's just because she's old. Yeah, she's really old. When she starts looking like this, we give her a dedicated space. No. Well, we can put him in the small cage over there, right? Or did you put Sage over there? All right. This is Pumpkin right here. Pumpkin got a tick on the corner of his eye. Not like on his eyeball itself, but like right at the corner of his eye. You can see his eyes all swollen. Poor baby. I thought that it was so weird looking. I thought he had gotten an eye injury and his eyeball was dangling out of the socket. But then when I got him in the house and examined him closer, it turned out to be a big fat tick. And we removed the tick, and we have started him on an antibiotic ointment in his eye for whatever infection that tick brought along. And he spent last night inside, and he'll probably spend tonight inside too. So just so I can keep an eye on him. But he is eating, and he's already. I can already tell he's feeling better. He had so much infection in an eye that actually pushed his eyeball down in the socket. And when I got the pus out of there, I couldn't even see his eye. Like it looked like his eyeball was missing. That's how far down it had gone. But it's already starting to move back into place. So prognosis seems good for him. His activity level's already improved. So we'll just keep him on that eye antibiotic ointment probably for about a week. And as long as he continues to improve, we will not take him to the vet. But if his condition does not improve or if he worsens, we will be making a vet trip. So. Oh, that was a duck. I think you're thinking of a duck. Okay. Okay. Now we got it. So that was Sage. And she's over here. Let's go see Sage. This is my one-legged rooster, Cookie. We'll see him in a minute. Sage is in a bit of a smaller cage today because we are, the current configuration of birds, we're short on kennels. Some days we have kennels left over and some days we don't have enough. Just because it depends on who we let out and where. And like right now, because Pumpkin has that eye injury, I'm keeping him isolated. That keeps us short a cage. So she's kind of got to put up with a smaller spot today. But we let her out first thing. So she runs around for about an hour and a half under supervision. She's doing really well. She no longer requires a bandage. The skin on her neck is very thin though. And I don't know that it will ever thicken up. Like she lost a lot of fat and meat or muscle or whatever you want to call it back there when she injured herself. And I don't know that she'll ever get it back. And so I'm very concerned about her like having access to any males because when the males mate with them, they grab a hold of the back of their neck and there's just no fat or muscle there to protect, her blood vessels and nerves and things like that. So she will always be only allowed with other females, and even with that, it will be under supervision. But this is my one-legged rooster, Cookie. You can see he's missing that leg right there. He was also a feed store surrender. He had a nasty leg infection that after multiple rounds of antibiotics and multiple operations, we were not able to correct. And his vet said we needed to put him down. And we consulted with a few other sanctuaries that had more experience than we did. And one of them referred us to a vet in Pennsylvania. We had to drive him about 3 hours all the way to Pennsylvania. And that vet performed his leg amputation. And she was wonderful, by the way. And she continued follow-up appointments via video call. So we didn't have to drive up there every time he needed a checkup. So we did a video conference with her every time he needed a follow-up. And Cookie took over a year of daily bandage changes and medicating to get him healthy again. Twice a day, actually, for most of that year. He was a lot of work. I probably have more work into this bird than any other animal in the sanctuary. But he's doing really well. He lives a full life. And he does really well on one leg. So that's a lesson learned. And I know that a chicken can thrive on just one leg. But he is a success story, and he is alive today, largely in part due to the support we receive from our community, because I think probably his vet bills were over $2,000 by the time we were done caring for him. It was very, very costly, and that was paid pretty much entirely by fundraising from our community. So he is alive today because of y'all. So I'm trying to get this daggone. This is just not cooperating with me today, y'all. Let me try something else. I need a new bungee cord over here. I use bungee cords until they completely break. I think that'll be good enough. But anyway, sorry about the husband would have to go. Yes, United Earth. That's actually, we joked with the lady. She was fine. She said the same thing, basically. We were like, we're surprised she didn't get rid of the husband. Because Milkshake is a really nice bird. But I live with roosters in my house more often than not. I'm actually lucky right now. I don't have any roosters in my house. But sometimes it feels like more often than not, I've got at least one, if not two roosters in the house for some reason or another. It definitely takes a certain kind of tolerance, that's for sure. Oh, it would be so hard just to pick one animal to sponsor. So we have a couple of generic sponsorship levels. I tried to make the Patreon accessible to everyone that wants to support us. I typically try to steer people towards the minimum of $3 a month, just because Patreon takes 8%, but they also take credit card processing fees. And so if you only sponsor at $1 a month, you're giving over about half of it or so to Patreon. And that's fair because it costs money to process the credit cards, you know. But when you get to the $3 tier, that's when we actually start to get done. But I made the $1 tier because there are people out there that really can't afford it, but they still want to sponsor us. And so, you know, we do appreciate that. It's very helpful because we still do get revenue from that. And we, like I said, if even 10% of my followers sponsored us for $1 a month, we would never need to do fundraising. But that kind of stuff helps out, especially when, you know, sometimes, you know how when it rains, it pours. I mean, sometimes we'll have a lot of we'll go, you know, a couple of months and no vet bills. And then all of a sudden I'll have 3 animals that have to go to the vet in a month. And so that's when it really gets difficult, is when those unexpected costs come around. But we also have one that's called Friend of the Sanctuary, I think. I think that's either $10 or $15 a month. But that just kind of goes to the generic sanctuary fund. And then I do try to post some exclusive content over to Patreon from time to time, but here lately I've been this is the first live I've done in a while because I think I pulled a hip flexor muscle or something. I don't know, but I've been dealing with a lot of pain over the last couple of weeks, last almost 3 weeks, and I just have been feeling kind of rotten. And but I'm starting to get a little better, feeling a little better. But it basically was like having your leg muscle tight, nonstop, like a tight leg muscle, and constantly wanting to cramp up.
I'm going inside. Everything's done except put Lurky on the front of Speck and Marmalade, and you need to do something with Clucky.
Lurky and Clucky, okay. Lurky and Clucky. I have to take care of Lurky and Clucky before I go. Maybe take turns on the different critters. Yeah, you could do that too. You could do that too. Unfortunately, Patreon doesn't have any way for me to live stream over there. I would love to do Patreon exclusive live streams, but you have to use a third-party service for that. And I've actually been members of other people's Patreons, and that live streaming is kind of hit or miss. And it requires everyone to go and download like another software, and then they have technical difficulties, and it just doesn't work well. Yeah, Pumpkin's healing. Pumpkin's healing. I actually have been taking video of him. I haven't posted anything about him yet. This whole thing just started happening yesterday. But yeah, I think he's doing well. Hey, Holiday. So Holiday, usually, you see how he's got this white right here? Usually he's got a white stripe that goes all the way across. But these are last year's feathers. He hasn't started molting yet. And when he molts, all of his tail feathers will fall out, and he'll lose most of his wing feathers, and he'll grow all new feathers. And then he'll have that white stripe across the top again. But he is a very beautiful bird. Chickens or ducks? Both. We have both. And geese and guineafowl and turkeys. So these are the guineafowl. Those 2 right there. There's a bunch of them on the sanctuary, but there's 2 of them. And that right there is a goose. That is actually, I want to say that's Elizabeth. Yeah, that's Elizabeth. Hey, Elizabeth. Hey, Lizzie Goose. She's just looking at me. Hey, you. And then that's Maverick right next to her. And then that's Lizzie's sister, Victoria. And this is Zorro in here sitting on an egg, probably. Hey, lady. What do you got? Do you have an egg? Do you have an egg? Oh, she's telling me. Are you telling? Are you telling it? Oh, you're so dangerous. You're so dangerous. All right, I will leave you on that egg for now. I will leave you on it for now. There's India right there. That's Zorro's sister. I actually just took a video showing y'all their backs. I have to post that later. But their backs are entirely black underneath of their white wings. It's pretty cool. But here's some chickens. These are some chickens right here. There's I have a total of 8 hens on the property. And we have 11 roosters, which is why we rotate the roosters out and we don't let all the roosters out all at one time because it's just way too hard on the girls. And the girls also get no rooster days. Some days we don't let any of the roosters out and the girls just get a break. That's Gimpy right there. And then ducks. So the ducks, most of the ducks are up today. Actually, I think the only duck out is Rosemary around here somewhere. But this is some of the Pekin ducks here. You have to forgive the mess. These cages were actually all just cleaned yesterday. But it's just so wet out right now. But that's one of the Pekin ducks, and there's another one over there. She's an old duck, and she has some leg issues. She has been vetted. We have had her looked at. But we just kind of keep her comfy over there. And then this is Big Boy Blue. Hey, Blue. Looking good, my guy. You a big man. Look at his drake feather. That curly feather on his tail. That's a drake feather. Only males have that little curl. You have a messy beak. You've been playing in the mud, you have. Yes, sir. And then this is Picasso back here. This rooster is a challenge, let me tell you. Hey, Picasso. Hey, my guy. How are you? It's muddy in there, man. But you do have, he's got plenty of dry area. You are not coming out. Don't even try. Don't even try it. You're not coming out here. No, sir. You got to watch him. If you turn your back on him, he'll come get you. You're not coming out. Nope, sorry. Watch your toes. Go on. Go on. Watch your toes. Crazy bird. He's got a nice dust bath in that cage. Yeah, I'm trying to take care of myself. So I don't talk about it on the channel, but I did, back in 2015, I had a very severe back injury that almost killed me. And I ended up having to have back surgery. And it was in my very low back. It was like my L5-S1. So basically at the end of your lumbar spine, starting in your sacral. Is it sacral? I don't know how to pronounce that. But basically right above your tailbone almost. I had a herniated disc that sat on my sciatic nerve. And I've got permanent nerve damage from that. So I deal with sciatica and things like that. But the problem with that is it causes like... I'm trying to think of the right word, not residual, but other problems. I can't think of the right word right now, but basically when you have injuries like that, it can cause problems with your piriformis muscle can get tight, which runs along your sciatic nerve. And it's more common for people that have had that problem to have problems with their hips and their SI joints, which is all in that area. And so all of that stuff gives me a problem from time to time. And when I have a flare-up, it often lasts for about a month, month and a half. A lot of ice, a lot of heat. I use a TENS unit, gentle stretching. I have stomach issues, so I have to be careful about the pain medication I take, so I don't take much in the way of pain medication. But I think I'm on the upswing of it now. It's been a crappy couple of weeks, but I feel like I'm coming back right now. Does Zorro want to be the greatest swordsman? Zorro is something else. I thought Zorro was a boy when I named her. But she's a really nice bird. She wants to be a mom. She wants some babies. But we are not doing any babies. No, we are not having any babies. Are you sitting on an egg? Do you have an egg? Can we see? Can we see if you have an egg? Can I look and see? Let me look. Oh, she has an egg. That's a guinea bird egg. Look, this is a guineafowl egg she found. That's not here. Okay, you can have it here. That's a guinea fowl egg. Okay, you can have it. I will let you keep it. We're not having any more guinea fowl either. No, ma'am. She wants a baby so bad. But we're not doing it. Look at Karen. What are you doing up there, Karen? It's too early to be roosting. Look at the boys. Look, I see you. I see you. The boys are trying to get to her. Oh, yeah, I love birds too, man. I love birds too. Oh, thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. You didn't have to do that, though. I didn't mean that comment directed towards you or anything. I appreciate it, though. I've thought about getting rid of the $1 tier, but like I said, it just makes it accessible to people, you know. I don't want there to be any barrier to people following us over there. Look at those guys. These guinea birds are so pretty. What's really neat about the guinea fowl, okay, the dark colored guinea fowl, even though they look about the same size as the white ones, they weigh like twice as much. They are so much bigger bodied. All right, so let's see. I have to do something with Lurky, which will be easy enough. We'll just put her in this front area. I gotta find her. Where did she go? She's probably over in the chicken area right now. But when Lurky looks like she's not feeling good, we do put her up. That way, if she needs to take a rest, she doesn't have to worry about anyone pestering her. I gotta find her though. Is she in here? Yes, she is. Hey, Turkey Lurky. Hey, my girl. Come on. Let's go. Come on this way. Come on this way. She's like, don't you touch me, human. Yeah, look at her giving me all that sass. Come on. Come on. Oh, you're so sassy. Let's go this way. Let's go this way. Holiday, don't you mess with her. Don't you mess with her. Well, now you're going the wrong way. Holiday messed us up, Turkey Lurky. Come on. This way. Holiday? Boy? Look, there you go. Good girl. Good girl. So those two guinea fowl in there are kind of on lockdown right now because they've been flying the coop a lot. And I'm worried a fox is going to get them. So when that happens, we just lock them up for about a week. And then once that, after about a week, they don't tend to wander as much. All right, so that's done. So now I just got to figure out where I'm going to put this other rooster. Actually, there's no other roosters out today, so I probably could just cut him loose. So I'm going to do that. Hey, Clucky. Hi, Pumpkin. Nobody's coming for you, Pumpkin. We're letting Clucky out. Come on, my guy. Such a great, big, handsome rooster, man. Holiday, you're such a jerk, man. You're kind of a jerk, you are. That wasn't very nice. He's like, I need to let him know I'm in charge. That wasn't very nice. You're such a jerk. A beautiful jerk, right? Are you a beautiful jerk? Yes. He's like, don't grab my head. He's like, looky, no touchy. Oh, you talking about, so these guys, that's called a comb. And so these guys have the biggest combs. The red thing on top is a comb. And so this is Foghorn. And he's got one of the biggest, you tell him, Foghorn, he's got one of the biggest combs on the sanctuary, him and his brother Picasso. I think Picasso's might be a little bigger. And then the things dangling underneath of his chin are called wattles. Yes. But he's got a very big comb, and that's typical of the breed, and they get bigger every year. Their combs, this particular breed, their comb grows bigger every year, and that's how you can kind of get an idea how old they are. Like, these guys are actually pretty old, and they're shelter roosters. They were dumped at the animal shelter, or I should say surrendered at the animal shelter, and the shelter wasn't able to adopt them out. So they called us and we were like, yes, we will take them. You looking good, Foghorn? He's like, I know I look good. Look at his beautiful tail feathers too. You look good for an old man too, man. You're doing really good. Gotta take good care of these old guys. As you see, we have heaters in here for the winter time. We don't heat for all the birds, but any of our special needs or senior flock will get heat in the winter. I think that this swimming pool might have had it. I don't know. Might just need to be on flat ground. That swimming pool's too small for geese. I'm pretty sure the water's been turned off. No, the water's still on. Let's fill up that swimming pool. Yeah, Holiday is always trying to start something. He's kind of a bully. That's a typical male turkey thing, though. Let's see if I can get this on the right one hand here. We'll let that fill up for a few minutes. Hey, Unstoppable, we are a vegan-run farmed animal sanctuary. We don't eat any part of the animals. These are not food items. They are individuals with personalities, social structures, feelings. They all have their favorite things to do. We don't even eat any of the eggs here. All of the eggs are fed back to the birds because an egg at its core really is like 99.9% chicken food anyway. A lot of people don't realize that. Like, so many people think that when an egg is laid that there's a baby in there waiting to hatch, and there's not. It's just the raw materials for an egg. It's so appropriate to have a rooster named Picasso. Well, he got that name because of his comb. That crazy comb he has. Hey, Ryan. It's not fermented by the male. You mean incubated? The egg, you mean? Oh, fertilized, perhaps. I'm not sure. Exactly, yeah. Most eggs are not going to have a baby in them. Well, when the egg is laid, okay, it's just the raw materials. Now, the egg is fertilized while in the hen, okay, so they could lay a fertilized egg. But in order for it to produce a baby, it has to be incubated. This is Picasso, by the way. And it has to be incubated, and depending on the species of bird, it's anywhere from like 21 days up to a little over a month, for most of the birds that we would have here. And so the chicken or the goose or whoever, Picasso, please don't be mean. This guy has actually spurred me before, and it's pretty unpleasant. I don't know if he'll let me show you. No, he's not going to let me show you. You can see those spurs down on his legs, those long pointy things. They are hard as bone, sharp as needles, and his legs are extremely powerful, and he can hit you with them 5 times before you even know he's left the ground. It's quite brutal, actually. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close him up because if I don't pay attention, he will get me. But as you see, he was sitting right there and he didn't. He's just a very defensive bird, and he came to us as an adult, and we don't know what he's been through in his life, what, if any, abuses he suffered at the hands of humans. So, you kind of got to have empathy for that bird, because he could have lived in a living hell where people were bad to him all the time. You just don't know. And I tend to think that must have been the case because of the 11 roosters I have on the sanctuary. Really, Picasso's the only one you got to watch out for. The rest of them are pretty laid back. They don't mess with me. They will mess with someone that they don't know, but that's more of a protective trait. But anyway, so yeah, if the bird doesn't, well, depending on this type of bird, because sometimes like with the emus, the male is the one that sits on the egg. But if a bird doesn't incubate the egg, you know, there's no baby in there. And they have to be sitting on that egg for a few days before anything really starts. And so the egg yolk and the albumin, the white part, is actually chicken food that provides nourishment and moisture for the chicken throughout its incubation process. The chicken actually starts as a small grouping of cells on the side of the egg yolk. So used to own chickens, oh, your whole life. Too much maintenance. It is work to keep them healthy. These guys here, they're about 3 hours a day for 2 people. And that assumes that everyone's healthy and no one needs any special medication or bandaging, because like when that duck Sage needed bandaging, that was an extra half an hour a day to deal with that. Oh, you got 3 chicks? That's cool. Yeah, birds are wonderful. I love birds. I'm a bird guy. I've been, ever since I was a little kid, I loved birds. I've always been fascinated by them. And so I grew up to be a guy that's got 70 birds on his property. All different kinds. And basically, they just find me. I don't go looking for any of them. You know, someone brings me one and then they know I take them. So the next time someone needs to get rid of one, or, you know, someone needs a home for one, they kind of find out through the grapevine. I don't even advertise. This is India right here taking a bath. Is that a nice swimming pool? That's India and Gimp. It's Gimp on the left. I do have geese. Robert, these are the geese right here. The ones we're looking at. We have a total of 16 geese on the sanctuary. But here's 2 of them. Hey, Bonnie, welcome to the live. I know, right? That sounds like, is that a Brian Reagan? Brian Reagan, is that his name? Is that his skit with the, why don't you call the moose meese? And then I think Gallagher is another comedian that does a pretty funny skit on the American language, on English. Makes no sense. But here's some more of the geese, Robert. That's Maverick right there. And that one right there is Elizabeth. She has angel wing. And then that's Victoria. And then on the other side of the fence are all the boys. We keep the girls and boys separate during mating season just because there's too many boys for the girls and they wear the girls out. But as you can see, they have one thing on their mind, and that's getting to the ladies. They got all this area here, and the only thing they care about is trying to get over to their ladies. But once a couple more weeks when mating season ends and they move into the molting season, we'll put them back together. Why can't I have more lady geese? Well, I can, but the thing is the ratio. The reality is that roughly half of all the geese born are males. And so the boys need somewhere to go. And we take on birds that we can care for regardless of their gender. You know, if they need a home, they need a home. And that's why we keep a bachelor flock over there. But really, I don't know what the exact ratio is, but technically it's supposed to be, in order for it not to be too much for the girls, you need to have like 8 or 9 female geese for every male goose, because that's how often they will breed. And what you end up with is the male will eventually rip all the feathers out of the back of their head, because that's where they hold on when they mate. And they'll tear up their backs if they're basically overbred. If there's, you know, I mean, they will literally, if I put the girls over there, one will have their way and then they'll get off. Another one will jump on and it'll just be nonstop. And so we just have more boys, and we're pretty well at capacity now. Our capacity is limited by mostly by funding. Um, like in order to take on more birds, I would need to buy additional enclosures for them. But I also would need to be able to fence in more pasture. I do have some space for that, but it's just a matter of, you know, you have to also have to consider their feed cost. It costs money to feed everybody, and straw. Like you see all that straw there. Each one of those bales of straw costs about $6. And we go through, well, when it's rainy like this, we go through about 2 bales a day. That can really add up quickly. And so every one of these birds requires some straw every day to stay dry and clean and healthy. You can't have your birds, I mean, it's muddy out here, but they all have a clean, dry bed. Otherwise, if their feet stay wet nonstop, they can get diseases in their feet pretty easily, actually. And then we also have to consider veterinary costs, like Pumpkin over here. You know, we're lucky this time because we have an antibiotic ointment left over from a previous vet visit. So we're treating his eye infection with that and hoping that that will clear up with just that ointment. If not, he's going to result in a vet visit, which will basically minimum be $200, but usually they cost around $300 just to get in the door. By the time they, you know, see him and run any tests that they want to run or whatever. So it's not cheap. And so that's why, you know, we limit how many animals we can take on. Like other things I'm looking at, for example, these cages were donated to us and they were probably 10, 15 years old when we got them. And as you can see, they are starting to deteriorate. I've actually, this hinge rusted off entirely and I replaced it with that one. So this is a cage we're going to have to at least replace a section on, if not entirely, at some point in the near future. And then we've got another cage over here that I have, you know, that I've kind of hodgepodge. This is the bottom grate out of a small cage that I wired up to this door because the bottom of this door was rusting out. And so this cage is going to need to be replaced. This is a newer cage that was donated to us, along with these 3 cages here. But anyway, that's why we can't just you know, get more female birds. I wish it was that easy, but there's actually a case literally just happened yesterday. A local rescue in our area they specialized it was a dog rescue. And I didn't know them personally. I knew them through a family member who worked with them. And they recently got raided and because they were hoarding. This person had over 70 dogs in their house. Oh, we got a full swimming pool. Let me shut this down. And the point I'm making here is you have to be responsible when you're running a sanctuary. And you have to be able to do the absolute hardest thing of running a sanctuary, which is saying no. When someone calls you and says, can you take this animal? Can you help this animal? This animal has 2 days left before they get euthanized at the shelter. You have to say no, because if you don't, then the animals that you have already promised to care for will suffer. Because if we get overtaxed, if I don't have enough money to pay for a vet bill, an emergency vet bill, the vet's not going to work for free. And then that animal is going to die because I can't get them medical care. And then you struggle to feed them, or let's say you didn't hit your fundraising goal and you didn't raise enough money for straw. So now instead of giving them fresh straw every day, you're giving them fresh straw every other day. And then someone gets a foot sore like Cookie. Cookie started out, my one-legged rooster, his infection probably started with a very small wound on his foot. He could have cut it on a rock or something. And, he got some dirt in there or whatever, and it's called bumblefoot. And that can happen very easily if you don't have very dry bedding. Even if you have the driest, cleanest bedding in the world, it can still happen. But anyway, that's why we don't just take on every animal that comes our way or look for more females or something like that, because we have a responsibility to these guys. And that's how you prevent becoming a hoarder, is being able to say no. And I think the two hardest things about running the sanctuary are, one, saying no, and two, losing animals. Because it happens, especially when you take in all the unwanted and misfits. You know, we take on special needs cases, you know, that might have, you know, deformities or something like that, that we can still provide a quality of life to, but they will have a shorter lifespan, things like that. When you have an aging population like we do have, several birds that are actually past their normal lifespan, like Lurkey, this turkey over here that's in there, she's past her normal lifespan. That kind of thing happens. So those are the two things that are most difficult. But anyway, that's enough rambling on about that. I think I might have missed some of my comments here. Well, Ryan, I appreciate you subscribing, man. I appreciate all of that in the interactions when y'all see my videos, when you like them and comment and share and things like that. It all helps. Every little bit of that accumulates to help the sanctuary. You know, one of the real blessings since I started putting more effort into YouTube is we've gotten, our Patreon has greatly increased. It's I think it's right around $160 a month, $158 a month or something that produces, which is really nice. It's very helpful. And we've just gotten a lot of people letting us stuff off the Amazon wish list, and we've just really been blessed these last couple of months with the YouTube taking off the way it has. And when you like our posts and comment and share and subscribe, all of that helps push us out and expose us to more people that would support us. So I really appreciate you subscribing. Well, thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate that. I love telling people about the different history of the animals. All of these birds are individuals. They have personalities. People think I'm crazy because I can look at one of them and tell them apart from the other. I'm very self-conscious about it, but I talk to them. I honk at them and I make their noises back to them. I don't usually do it on video just because I feel like a bit of a wacko, but they all have a special cadence to their voice. So a lot of times I can tell who's talking without even looking at them. You see this guy here? Everywhere I walk, he's right by me. I have a video on my YouTube I posted a few days ago of him eating breakfast with me because he'll come up on the front porch and eat breakfast with me. Oh, thank you, United Earth. Yeah, it is important to know the difference. A lot of people these days try to start these little micro sanctuaries and their hearts are in the right place. But, you know, especially people that get into it and have no history with this type of animal husbandry, they just don't know what they're getting into. And they're really enthusiastic about it at the beginning, but then they get their first vet bill or something like that happens and they kind of realize that they get in over their heads. But, you know, I'm blessed. I've worked with these type of animals my whole life, ever since I was a little kid. And we've kind of run an unofficial animal sanctuary for decades. We just made it official and filed our nonprofit status a couple years ago. But I've been taking in misfits and unwanted animals, and my mom too, ever since I was little. But we just kind of really started to put a lot more effort into it. And we went from caring for about 30 animals to caring for, well, at our peak, we were close to 80 animals. And we're currently Mom's currently in the process of learning how to write for grants, try to qualify for grants, so we can get a larger amount of funding. I've got, our property goes way up into the woods that way quite a bit, and I've got some nice space back there. So what I'd like to do, this barn is old and it needs to be redone. The bones are good, but it needs to be redone. But what I'd like to do is to put something up, like a building up there that has electricity and heat and things like that, where we can provide the animals better shelter. So we're currently trying to qualify for some grants for that, because that's a lot of money. That would be quite a big expenditure. And I do like educating people. I need to do more educational videos because I've had quite a few people comment, and even friends send me messages saying, hey, I really like the educational stuff. So I need to try to do that more. It probably would get, well, for example, one video I really want to make is how to treat an eye infection. in a rooster because that's something you can use, or a chicken, it's something you can usually do at home without an antibiotic ointment. I mean, it's really nice if you can get one, but that has to be a prescription, and not everybody's going to have access to an avian vet. But I have a way to treat an ear infection in a rooster. I actually just did it with Rudy. Rudy had an infection in both ears, and I cleared it up in less than a week. And I've done it on many others. And I need to, the next time I have a rooster or a chicken with an ear infection, I actually need to make an educational video on how to do that. Because it's something you can do with supplies you can just buy on Amazon. And it's really easy to do. And you don't even have to take them to the vet. I actually had a rooster with a very stubborn, actually treated Holiday. Holiday had an ear infection back at the beginning of this year. And I treated him with the same protocol. And I had another, Picasso, I think, yeah, it was Picasso, that had a very stubborn ear infection that I had to treat with the same protocol for about 6 weeks before I got it under control. But he never did require a vet visit. This is a big snack bowl. This is a swimming pool that has holes in it. So now it's a great big snack bowl. It's where all the treats go. I have the entire country of Turkey. What's up, Holiday? Oh, you talk to your dogs? Yeah. I usually develop a special voice for certain animals that I don't use with others. Like, I have a voice for my cockatoo that drives my cousin crazy. She laughs at me whenever I talk to my cockatoo. It's kind of funny. And then, like I used to have a dog. I had a black lab. He passed away a couple years ago from old age. I had a special voice for him. And it's weird because you develop these voices and cadences and ways you talk and speech patterns and words that you use that you only use with those birds. And then, like, you know, like Brandy, I had a blind chicken, passed away of old age. But, you know, when she was gone, that was it. I don't use that voice anymore. But it was just, and the same thing with Waddles. If you go back in my channel, I had a special needs Pekin duck. He has a very sad story, but ultimately he lived a very short but good life here on Sanctuary. And he was a fan favorite for quite a while, but I had a special voice for him too. I still think about him, and I don't forget the voices. I remember the voices, how I talk to him. I really miss him. He was a very special guy. I put a lot of effort and time into him. Yeah, United Earth. Yeah, saying no is probably the most difficult part. It's kind of a tie between that and, I guess, having the animal, when an animal you care for closely passes away, it's very difficult too. But, you know, like, so we have an official partnership with our local animal, animal shelter. I don't know why I'm having a hard time finding words. And so we're pre-authorized. Like, I can go into that animal shelter at any time and pull any animal without any adoption fees or anything. Any animal I want, I can go in there and pull it. And the way we got those privileges was, one, forming an official nonprofit. So we are registered with the government, and you know, so, you know, donations to us are generally tax deductible. And the other way was allowing county animal control to come out onto the property and inspect our facilities, because they want to make sure we're not a hoarder. They want to make sure that we have all of the, I mean, if you think about how much each one of these cages costs, I mean, most of them were donated to us. I think the only one on this row that we bought was this black one here. The rest of them were donated. Same thing over here. I actually built this cage here like 15 years ago. And it's holding up pretty well considering I didn't use any pressure treated wood. I actually built it for some squirrels that I was raising that someone had brought to me. And I didn't use any pressure treated wood because I didn't want them chewing on anything toxic. But it's holding up pretty well. But you have to have the proper facilities, you know. We have, you know, adequate water and housing and space for them to run around. But anyway, so they, animal control basically has an open invitation out here if they ever want to come out and make sure everything's healthy for everyone. And like I said, that thing that just happened, this place was literally down the road, got raided, and they had like 70 dogs in their house. And woman's heart was in the right place, but she just got in over her head because she couldn't say no. And that's not good for the dogs. Yeah, the turkey does follow me. See, he's right there. He's working his way over. He's my boy. Aren't you, Holiday? Oh yeah, it says about the turkey being older than normal. Yeah, she's 12 years old. She's at the high end for a turkey. Have I considered doing a GoFundMe? I have, Scorpion, and I might try something like that at some point. But you know, I struggle sometimes to raise $300 to cover a vet bill, right? And I've worked. Okay, Flip Flop. I know. Oh no, that's Sunny. That's Sunny. And like when we do, and it might be different this time. I'm hoping it'll be different because I've got, we went from 600 YouTube subscribers to we're over 28,000 now just in the last 2 months. So the channel's really grown. But every time I do a straw purchase, it's around $600. And the last time I tried to raise money for that, we couldn't even meet our goal doing that. So you can imagine how, I don't want to say discouraging it is, but it's like if I can't raise $600 to buy straw, how am I going to raise, I don't even know. I haven't even priced it out. But to put up an adequate barn would be 6 figures or more probably. How am I going to raise that kind of money, right? Because I got to run power to it. I got to run water to it. I want it to be a good, proper facility. I want it to be a proper facility for these animals where they can, get out of the weather and be safe from predators, things like that. And so that's why I haven't started a GoFundMe for that, because I struggle to raise enough money to pay for everybody here. Another reason I don't go live very often is because, here we are creeping up on an hour and a half, which I love. I'm not complaining. This is one of my favorite things to do, is go live and talk to y'all. I work full time to make up the deficit that the sanctuary doesn't bring in. And one day, the sanctuary will be able to cover its own costs. We will get there one day. We've only been a nonprofit for a couple of years. These things don't happen overnight, but they take a lot of work. And thanks to, the support from our audience and support from our friends, we have several friends that help support us financially as well. They actually are one of the big reasons. We have a friend that when COVID hit and we lost, my business shut down when COVID hit. I had a thriving business and overnight I wasn't able to earn income anymore. And when that happened, one of our friends gathered up some other people and they just showed up on our sanctuary with a pallet of animal food, just out of the blue. And then to this day, they still support the sanctuary in many ways, both with their time and financially. And you can't just like flip a switch and all of a sudden you're this well-funded nonprofit. It takes years of building relationships with people and getting exposed to more and more people. Maybe 5 years from now or 10 years from now, we'll be funded enough to where I won't have to make up the deficit myself. And it would be nice. I'd actually like to, a dream of mine would be to stop my day job. I would like to go from having, 70 animals to taking care of 300 or 400 animals, on a piece of property that was big enough to support that. And that's all I would do. That would be my full-time job. And you can imagine it would be a full-time job because with just 70 animals, it's 3 hours a day for 2 people. And that's assuming that everyone's healthy and that we don't have anything extra. Like my nephew, my oldest nephew, he's 15. He came over and stayed here for 3 days and he cleaned out all of these enclosures for me because my back has been acting up and I just couldn't handle it. So he came over and over the course of 3 days, cleaned out all these enclosures. He's 15 and he ran my tractor for me. Like I didn't even have to get on my tractor. He did it all. He was wonderful. I'll show you the tractor that he ran. I was very impressed with him. He's getting to be quite a impressive young man. But this is my little tractor over here that I bought. I bought this with my personal funds and donated it to the sanctuary. This is a 2015 Kubota. I really like it. But he ran that for me. It's too bumpy for my back. I can't handle it. I love having a tractor, but I can't hardly ride it. But anyway. Do you use terramycin? Yes, that's exactly what I'm using is terramycin. I also have some erythromycin if I run out of that terramycin, but I need to look that up and make sure that I can use that. I believe that's an ophthalmologist. I can't say the word. It's an eye ointment. Why can't I say that word? But anyway, it's also an eye ointment. But yeah, I am using the terramycin for the bird eyes. Wherever I go, I can't escape Holiday. Look, I'm walking around the whole sanctuary. He's a stalker. I call him a creeper. He's a creeper. Aren't you, Holiday? It's my boy. I love this bird so much, y'all. Holiday, are you a creeper, though? Are you a bit of a creeper? You thought I was the other flip-flop farmer. Yeah, apparently there's another flip-flop farmer or something, I guess. Someone mentioned, I saw in a comment or something somewhere where someone found someone on Facebook that apparently was not us and they thought was us and they blocked them or something. And I'm like, I'm the only one that shows up when I search flip-flop animal sanctuary, but flip-flops, I guess, somewhat of a generic term. What are you doing, Sonny? You cannot come over here. Sorry, buddy. Do I broadcast every day? I do not. I upload every day. I make a very strong effort. What is this? Keeps trying. Hold on a second. No filter. For some reason, I had like a weird menu pop up. Sorry about that. Do I broadcast every day? I wish I had the time to do that because this is literally one of my favorite things to do. Like every time I say, oh, I'm going to go live for 30 minutes, Mom laughs at me because 2.5 hours later, I'm still live. Yeah, I don't have that kind of time. I got too much work I got to do. I try to go live a couple times a month if I can, but I try to upload at least 2 shorts a day because right now I'm really trying hard to be able to monetize the channel, and I need to get 10 million short views in a 90-day period. I don't know if we're going to make it or not. I am trying though. And then I also try to upload a longer format video. Those take a little more time. And so I haven't been able to do those lately because my back's been bothering me. I just haven't had the energy for it. But when I start feeling a little better, I'm going to start doing more longer format videos. But I do upload every day. It's actually good that I did this. I was starting to schedule my uploads. So I probably had like 40 videos I had, and I scheduled them out at twice a day. And so that when something like my back flaring up happens, I don't have to worry about creating content. It's already there. Right now, I have videos scheduled to post all the way until the 18th of the month. And so the sanctuary doesn't suffer from a lack of activity because if you don't post regularly on YouTube, they'll stop showing your videos to people. You have to post like every day or multiple times a day. That's the best way to grow the channel. So, but you know, as the sanctuary becomes more self-sufficient, maybe I can go live more often. I would definitely like that. Look at Henry there in the background. This was my first goose I ever had. This guy right here. I think Henry's about 8 years old now. He's a Chinese goose. He's a very nice guy. Although he was not very fond of me the first couple of years I had him, but I had to work with him. What are you boys doing? Are you trying to con some more snacks out of me? I am. I'm going to give you the rest of these snacks before we go inside. Let's see. Hey, Rowena, is it Rowena? Hey, Rowena, welcome to the live. All right, hold on, I gotta put some more weight here. So my trailer here, my tailgate here, this is where I keep all the animal stuff. This is an old trailer I had. It's unfortunately not mouse proof. I've been trying to get someone to donate one of those shipping containers, but I haven't been able to find a company to do it. And they're like $3,000. So that's another thing, but it kind of has something to work out of, because if I had a shipping container, I could get a lot more feed because those are rodent proof. But anyway, the point I'm getting at here is I used to have this flap that would flap over so you could run like a, I don't know, like a lawnmower or something up into there. And then this thing, the springs were perfectly loaded for that, so it made it easy to pick it up. But then that thing, as you can see, kind of rotted off a couple of weeks ago. And when I removed it, now it's not heavy enough. And if I take that bucket off of there without replacing the weight, the trailer will slam closed. So let me see if I got something. I can kind of put that there and it'll probably be fine. What's up? What? Oh no, we are not fighting the bucket. Here, stay back. Stay back. So this is goose food. This is what I feed the goobers. So this is fermented corn. We ferment it for 3 days to give them good, healthy probiotics. And then these are soaked grass pellets because geese are supposed to graze, but I don't have any pasture. So I give them grass pellets instead so that they can get something closer to their natural diet. But of course all they ever want to eat is the corn. It's like goose junk food. Yes, I see you. I know it. I know it. Holiday, come on. You want to come in? Come on. You coming? You need to come over here anyway. You need to come over here anyway. Come on. Good boy. Good boy. All right, watch out. Okay. Okay. I am bringing the snacks. Flip flop. Watch out, flip flop. Look, I got a goose getting ready to fight with each other. Oh, did y'all? Looks like y'all did pretty good. Oh, you did good. You ate most of it. You ate most of it. Make sure there's no wood chips in there or anything. Okay, I will give you the new snacks. Much easier with 2 hands. Holiday, stay back. Stay back. He's trying to fight the bucket. He's got a thing against buckets. I don't know why, but he's a bucket slayer. Scrape some of the extra off of here. Flip flop. I mean, Holiday. This ain't about you, man. Flip flop. Are those good snacks? He's like, they are the most delicious snacks ever. See, look at how happy everybody is to have food. Stop trying to kill the bucket, Holiday. Stop trying to kill it. I'm throwing it over here. Oh. Okay, let's see. I can never escape Holiday. No, I cannot ever escape Holiday. Do predators come along and try to infiltrate the barn? Yes. That is one of the things that I have become much better at over the years, is protecting against predators. So I wish I had a livestock guardian dog, but I don't. That's a whole long story why I don't have one of those. But so the barn is not predator proof, which is another reason we don't use it. The barn was installed, and then I had a company come out and flatten this out, but it didn't get graded properly, so water rushes into the barn. That's something that's on the list to fix. We will, fix that at some point. But for now, the barn isn't really usable. All of these enclosures have, I have taken great effort into making them predator proof. We use a double latching system on all the cages, so they latch, and then we actually lock the latches. We use not chicken wire, but like hardware cloth and things like that to run around the lower edges for the smaller birds, so like a raccoon can't reach through and grab them. They're pretty well fox proof. So knock on wood, it's been several years since I have had a predator take an animal. Why is this? There we go. I keep hitting a button or something that keeps bringing up some random menu on here. But anyway, we do pretty well with predators now. I'm not sure what restaurant's going to give away free straw. I think you're thinking of straws, Ryan. Straw is a crop byproduct that's used for bedding for the animals. Holiday counselor of the sanctuary. Thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate that. Holiday is the governor. Holiday, are you the governor? Sultan, I don't even know how to say that. I don't even know what the O with the dots on top is. But I'm not going to say that. I don't even know what that is. I'll get in trouble for saying something bad in another language. Well, that's cool, Bonnie. I'm glad to be a go-to channel for you. You guys are loving their snacks. Bonnie, it is a lot of work here. There's a lot of work every day. We do host a volunteer day once a year. Try to do like a property cleanup and get some odds and ends taken care of. We usually do that in the fall. Hey, Scorpion. Yeah. So, yeah, you kind of get it. And you live in Maryland? Okay, yeah, you're just a hop, skip, and a jump then probably. We're down in Calvert County. They don't have cheese feet? What's cheese feet? Oh yeah, Bonnie, we're not gonna stop doing the sanctuary as long as I am able-bodied. I will be doing something like this. It's just, we're just basically at capacity, so it's very rare that we take on a new animal right now. But I mean, it really wouldn't matter if I had 70 animals or 700 animals. There's always going to be a limit, a capacity. You're always gonna have to pick and choose what cases you can take on, and it just has to be something you can handle both with your time and your resources. But yeah, we'll keep at it. That's right, 24/7 work, Molly. I haven't had a vacation. The last time I went somewhere for fun, and that was not business related, was 2007. It was the last time, and my mother is my partner in the sanctuary, and so one of us has to be on the property pretty much all the time. It's very rare that we both leave the property at the same time, because otherwise everyone has to stay locked up. We are not at the point where we have, regular volunteers or anyone that could be trusted to stay with the animals for more than an hour or two at a time. Look at this guy. He's got a piece of straw through his nares, which is fine. His nares go from one side of his beak to the other, but I kind of would like to get that piece of straw out of there, but he's not going to let me. He'll get it. He'll figure it out. Hey, Ann from Liverpool. Love having you here. I guess it probably looks pretty similar here to how it usually looks in England, with everything all overcast and rainy right now. Liverpool, UK. Is that part of England? I'm not the best with my geography over there. I have a general idea. A volunteer barn raising. That would be something. I know, right? When Marmalade chops the fence into fox territory. Well, that's why Marmalade and Speck, those are two that stay together. They're both on lockdown right now. They're actually being left up for a couple of weeks. They won't be allowed out because they've just gotten really bad about leaving the safe zone. But once you do that, no, you're not coming back here, Holiday. Sorry. Once you do that, after a couple of weeks, they'll stop trying to leave. They'll just get more accustomed to staying close by. Oh, this doesn't want to work for me. Let's see. There we go. That's better. But yeah, Marblade's a bit of a troublemaker, trying to escape. What's up? What's up, Zorro? What's up, Zorro? She's telling me. Mom's probably on this live somewhere, Bonnie. She probably saw your comment. She went in the house for the day. England, home of the Beatles. There you go. What's going on, Tori? She's so cute with her little waddle, her little walk. She's like, oh no, the guy's following me. What's he gonna do? How are those snacks, Maverick? Are those delicious snacks? Which one of the animals is the alpha animal? Well, I mean, really, when she looks like she's feeling off today. She's been having a lot of these days lately. I think she doesn't like the wet and cold. This is the one that nobody messes with. That's Lurkey Turkey. She's a 12-year-old turkey hen. And we actually had 2 turkey vultures fly down into this field the other day. And Lurkey went and attacked them and chased them off. It was actually very impressive. The geese won't mess with her. Every once in a while, one of the ducks will try to stand up to her, but it doesn't usually work out well for the ducks. So I would say she is the alpha. Now, there are all these little subgroups of birds that stay together. So like within the geese, there are 4 distinct little subgroups of birds that stay together. And so they have their own little hierarchies in there. But I guess if I was to pick one top dog, it would be Lurkey Turkey. Sir Marmalade Flip Flop the Third. It's not going to be the same without Holiday being behind me. Well, I have to put him over here when I'm not supervising him because he will try to mate with any other bird. And so I try to keep him away from where the chickens usually hang out. The chickens do come over here, but the chickens can get away. And so they need to be able to get away from him. Because if he were to try to mate with one of these chickens, given that he's like a 45-pound turkey, he'd crush him to death. Or like if he got a hold of her, you know, he could really injure Rosemary if he got a hold of her. So he stays over with the geese. Hey, Athena. Welcome to the live. Look at that mess right there. Are you enjoying that mud water? I got fresh swimming pools and she's enjoying the mud water. Nobody is well, I shouldn't say nobody. The guineafowl and the chickens, they're not really fans of the wet weather. The geese actually love it though. This guy's pretty. I love these guinea birds. Are those the most delicious snacks? This is Gimp right here on the left. We call her Gimp because every once in a while she has a limp. And we were talking to, actually, I forget who suggested it. We were on a live stream. I think it might have been a friend that runs another sanctuary, but I can't be sure. I don't remember. But they mentioned that it might be a problem with her reproductive system. And that kind of makes sense because it's a periodic problem. But she'll walk with a limp every once in a while. And the way that their reproductive system works, the track or the path that the egg takes does go near their spine at one point. And so it's possible that she has a cyst or something there. It's not like there's anything we'd be able to do about it. But that might be the case. But that's why we call her Gimpy. And then that's India right here. My India girl. She's so beautiful. And then that's Maverick. She gave me a scare this past week. She was having a problem laying eggs. And that can be very difficult to overcome. But she did all right. And then this is a little chicken-only courtyard. This is where the chicken food goes. The geese can't get in here, but the chickens can. What's up, Cookie? And so the chickens get fed near Cookie so that they come to visit him, so he doesn't get lonely. Yeah, I could stay out here all day. It's so much nicer when everything's green. In the wintertime, when everything's bare, I can see like a lot of houses off in the distance and hear a lot more from the highway and all. But right now, it's just so peaceful. Holiday, where'd you go, Holiday? I think he's over on the other side because there's another entrance over there. He goes there every night to come. He doesn't leave with the geese. He has his own special door that he goes through. I don't know why he does it, but he just started going over there. So this whole area here, we've been working on for the last couple of years to bring it up flat. Actually, right where I'm standing, basically, you can kind of see how there's a hill there. It used to drop off straight down. You can kind of see how it just kind of drops off back there. Well, that used to drop off here. And we've been filling this whole area in here gradually over the last couple of years to make more flat, usable, pasture area. And so that's definitely made things a lot better for all the animals. Hey, Sandy, how much have you missed? I'm not sure. We've been live for about an hour and a half. Well, almost 2 hours. 14 minutes will be 2 hours. Hey, Torox. Love the emojis. Oh, I was so excited when I found out they added a goose emoji. I don't know when they did that, but I just found out about it like a month ago. And someone made a goose emoji in a comment. And I was like, how did you get a goose emoji? Because I've really felt like it's been lacking for years. Like they have a swan emoji, but they never had a goose emoji. And I was like, how could they overlook that? But I use the goose emoji all the time now. What is going on, Sonny? I know, you want to be with your ladies so bad. Poor Sonny. Flip-flop. What's going on, Flip-flop? What's going on, Flip-flop, Goose Man? Looking good. Looking good. You're a handsome boy. This is the namesake of the sanctuary. What's up, my guy? What's up, my guy? Looking healthy. You're looking healthy, Flip-flop. See how he comes right over to me when I start talking to him? Look at those tail feathers waggling. Flip-flop, how did you get so handsome? How did you get to be such a beautiful boy? Flip-flop actually lived in the house with me for the first part of his life. So we're really close. I had one of those big swimming pools there set up for him, and he would sleep in there. It was actually a really interesting time having him in the house, but eventually it became clear that he was going to be happier outside, and I think he is. It was difficult for me to put him outside though, because I really enjoyed having a house goose, but you got to do what's right for them. Except holidayism by Holiday. Also make him the governor. Governor Holiday. I don't even know where he is. He's probably over on the other side over here. Let's go see. He's probably waiting by his door. Usually on a rainy... Well, it's not raining too bad right now. But if it was raining much heavier than this, he would actually stay in his kennel for the day because he doesn't like being out in the rain. So I've got this other pathway over here that it's kind of set up to only let chickens. It's got this little cage that has 2 doors that are just big enough for chickens to get through. Yeah, here he is. He's waiting over here. He's like, it's time to put me to bed, man. Put me up. I had it. Holiday, I think you're a fan favorite, buddy. Everybody loves Holiday. And that's Cupcake, the chicken down there, looking for some bugs. What's up, Cupcake? What's up, Holiday? I see you. I see you, most gorgeous boy. Most handsome man. I think you got your own fan club now, buddy. You got your own fan club. Sir Holiday. What do you think about that? You're an awful beautiful boy. He's got some really, I've done some really cool videos with him in the past too. Oh, I hear that rain picking up. It's actually chilly here today. I'd be surprised if it was much warmer than 50. It's probably about 50 degrees out here. We got lucky this past year. I did not get a lot of snow. Everything's beautiful, but also 10 times more difficult when it snows. What's up, Gimpy girl? Oh, there's Clucky. What are you doing, Clucky? Are you being a good boy? Look at how he walks. Isn't that funny? He's like, I don't want to get my feet wet. Oh, we're having a standoff. It's not going to end well for you, Clucky. I don't think you come out on top of that, buddy. Yeah, he thought better of that. He was like, yeah, that's not a good idea. Zorro. He's like, I ain't putting up with that, Rooster. This is old man Fancy over here. This guy, he is the oldest rooster that I know of on the sanctuary because he was here since he was little. I don't know for sure how old some of the shelter roosters are. But this guy's, he's got a lot of white. You see how white his tail's getting? All those white accents to his tail. He did not have any white in his tail last year. It's really pretty, but it's definitely a sign he's getting a little older. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on you, Clucky. Troublemaker. Trying to start trouble. Oh, you were napping, Sandy? Yeah, we're coming to the end of the live stream here soon because it's almost 7 o'clock and I'm going to have to put everybody up at about 7:40. And I'm probably going to want to go inside and warm up for a few minutes before I got to go through the whole thing, putting everybody up. All right, Ryan, thanks for hanging out with us, man. Appreciate having you. It's Friday night, so tonight I'm going to be making General Tso's tofu, my favorite meal. Friday nights are when I make my favorite food. And so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to make some chickpea brownies. So they're high fiber, high protein, very healthy, but taste delicious. And I'm going to make some, I'm also going to make some vanilla cookies and cream ice cream to go on top of that with cashew cream. And I made homemade vanilla paste for the first time last night. I was up until 2 o'clock in the morning making it because I got in over my head. I make my own vanilla extract, and I've been doing that for 5 years. And whenever I do that and I use up the extract, I have all of these spent vanilla beans, which, as it turns out, you can use spent vanilla beans to make vanilla paste. And I've never done that before. And so I had 15 ounces, almost a whole pound of spent vanilla beans. And I got 3 750 milliliter bottles out of that. So I have a ton of vanilla paste. And I'm going to be making some vanilla flavored stuff. A lot of vanilla flavored stuff. I'm also going to give some of it away as gifts, just because I got so much of it. And then I also made myself 2 new bottles of vanilla extract, and they have to age for 6 months to a year. Yeah, so it's going to be a nice evening tonight. The vanilla paste is so good. I was eating it straight with a spoon. I mean, you don't want to eat a whole bowl of it or anything. But like, there's like a million different recipes for vanilla paste, and I probably read through recipes for about an hour before I just winged it and I made up my own thing. But it turned out really well. I ended up using an entire 750 milliliter bottle of white rum and way more sugar than I ever cook with. But I figure since vanilla paste is typically something you add like a tablespoon of to a recipe, so the amount, I don't usually use cane sugar for anything, but the amount I would get in my recipe would be so minute I just decided to go for it since it seemed to be a pretty common theme with the recipes I was reading. So, hey, how do I pronounce that? The Arcara? I don't know how to pronounce your name, farmer, but yeah, well, you're welcome for me having a sanctuary. It's definitely a passion project for sure. Yeah, Sandy, you come over. I'll make you some General Tso's tofu. I love, so Chinese food, like Chinese takeout has like sentimental value to me. When I was a little kid, the only time we would really get it was like on special occasions. And it was always this big deal. I remember like some of my core memories would be going to pick it up. Just this little hole in the wall Oriental restaurant close to where we lived. And ever since then, my favorite food was always Chinese takeout. But as I got older and my diet changed, like I went vegan, you could still do most Chinese takeout if you speak to the staff there can make you vegan food. It's pretty good. I don't really live in an area that has a lot in the way of vegan restaurants though. But then I went gluten-free and mom has to eat soy-free. So instead of making her tofu, I actually cook a product for her called pumfu. It's very similar, but it's made from pumpkin seeds instead. And so as you can imagine, going to a Chinese restaurant and saying I need it to be soy-free, which most of their sauces are soy-based, or a lot of them contain soy. And then you tell them, not only that, but I have to be gluten-free. That really starts getting difficult for them because a lot of your plant-based meat products contain wheat gluten. And so actually I worked, when I was a teenager, I worked in an Oriental restaurant in the kitchen. And so I kind of knew how to make a lot of the sauces anyway. And so I just kind of custom tailored them to our dietary needs. Oh my goodness, guinea bird. The guineas are going off now. But anyway, so I kind of figured out how to make General Tso's, which was my favorite Chinese food of all. I learned how to make that sauce, and ever since then, every Friday night, it's General Tso's. It's really good. Well, thank you, United Earth. We really appreciate your support. You've been a wonderful supporter of the sanctuary. I'm really glad you found us. We really appreciate you. I love all of your comments. Look, I haven't said anything, but over the past few weeks when I've been feeling really bad, I get on YouTube and I read through all the comments and they make me feel better. So everyone, here's what's crazy. Over the last few months, I've probably received 3,000 or 4,000 comments. I have read and liked every single one of them. Every single one of them. I get on multiple times throughout the day and read through the comments. I really appreciate all y'all's comments. They mean a lot. Even if it's just a string of emojis, I appreciate them all. It makes me feel like, the time I take to put these videos up, is worthwhile. It's worth all the effort that it takes. So I really appreciate all that. Oh, thank you, farmer. I'm calling you farmer because I don't know how to pronounce that word. Araucaria? I'm really bad at that kind of stuff. But I appreciate it. I'm just going to call you the farmer. All right, United Earth, I guess you're heading out. I appreciate having you, though. I'll see you later. Sandy, I love Chinese food so much. So I make the General Tso's, and then I also make eggplant in a garlic sauce sometimes. I make a lo mein, or our version of a lo mein. We also I actually made rice back on yesterday, actually. So probably Saturday or Sunday night, we'll do a egg fried rice with the Just Egg. If you've ever had Just Egg, that's a really good product. If you want a plant-based egg product, it cooks up and has a very similar texture and flavor to egg, but it's all plant-based. And so I'll make an egg fried rice. The other thing I do is sometimes I'll make some spring rolls or some dumplings or something like that. But General Tso's is my go-to for Friday nights. And then for like the last 2 months, I've been making brownies every Friday night because I've kind of figured out a hack to make them so darn healthy. They're probably healthier than your average breakfast bar. And so I can eat those and they barely even count as a dessert because they are packed with protein and fiber. So, and this little girl cute, look at her. That's Rosemary. She could have buried herself up to her eyeballs looking for bugs. My hand's shaking a little bit, probably because it's cold out here. Rosemary, you're adorable. She's flying solo today because her man is up and Sage can't really be out with everyone. What's up, Scarlet? Looking good, Scarlet. Look at how beautiful she is. A beautiful red chicken. She's a Rhode Island red. She's a nice bird. Can I honk at the geese? My voice is half hoarse now from talking for the last 2 hours. I don't really honk at them. Henry was, oh no, that's Sunny that was just honking. They don't make the honk honk that you think. But I do, I go honk, 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 honk sometimes when I'm talking to them. What's up, Sunny? That's a more common goose call, which you hear Sunny doing right now. And then they have like this, they do that. You see how they kind of looked up when I did that? So I'll actually call to them going, see how they kind of look up when I do that? Because that's the noise they make, depending on what's up. But what you hear Sunny doing over there is the most common sound that the males make. Oh, your son makes the General Tso's for you sometimes? Yeah. Yeah, General Tso's is pretty easy once you figure it out. So I make mine because I have to make the alterations for Mom so she can have it because General Tso's typically is a soy-based sauce. And so I make mine with coconut aminos instead, which works out pretty well. And then you put a lot of cane sugar in there, but cane sugar is very inflammatory. So what I've done is I've swapped that out for maple syrup because maple syrup is actually anti-inflammatory. And then sesame oil, toasted sesame oil goes in there, and ginger and garlic. And I use cayenne pepper for the spice. And then if I have some canned pineapple, I will use some of the pineapple juice in that. But you don't have to. Canned pineapple juice is really nice as a sweetener. You can kind of cut back on some of the maple syrup a little bit. But I don't always have the canned pineapple juice. So I'll just use the maple syrup. Oh, and then of course you need, I think traditionally you would use like a Chinese cooking wine. But I use sake instead just because that's what's more available to me. And it works just fine. But I actually have a recipe. I think it's on my other YouTube channel on how I make General Tso's. What is this guy doing? Is he just staying out of the rain? Are you okay? Are you okay? I'm just checking on you. You were looking kind of hunched over, but I think he was just trying to stay out of the rain. That's a male right there. I'm pretty sure that's a male. The best way to tell is how when they start making noise. Yeah, I think everybody's like, man, this cold, wet weather is a bummer. Except the geese. The geese don't care. Gobble at the turk. You're just pushing me outside of my comfort zone. I am not going to gobble at that turkey. He probably wouldn't even gobble back. Holiday. All right, here we go. Let's see. He's probably not even going to answer me. That's the worst part is when I gobble at him and he doesn't answer me back. Then I'm just an idiot gobbling at a turkey. Oh, there you go. There you go. Y'all saw him. He gobbled back. And now I got the guineas all set off. That was a false alarm, y'all. So when Holiday's buddy Tom passed away last year, Holiday didn't gobble for like 2 months. He wouldn't answer me. He was mourning his buddy. They used to gobble all the time. But now it's hard to even get him to talk. Oh, the lovely nostalgia store? Yeah. Sometimes I like to think of things like some of the best things in my childhood, like my family, when my parents were younger, they used to go snow skiing all the time. when it was in season anyway. And when we were little kids, it didn't happen often, but I remember specifically one time we got pulled out of school early because they ran a business, and for whatever reason, they were going to close early for the day. And so they came and got us out of school and took us skiing. And so I just remember stuff like that. Like, I don't know if y'all remember, I don't know why this plays into this memory so much, but do you remember like back in the 90s when they had crystal clear Pepsi? When Pepsi was putting out, I mean, it tasted just like Pepsi, but it didn't have any of the caramel color in it, so it was just clear. That was like the timeline. Like, I remember that. And like when you would buy soda in the 2-liter bottle and it would have like the black plastic on the bottom for whatever reason. Those are just like nostalgia. Like, I don't know if you ever come across videos like that, or did they just show you all these nostalgic things? Those are some of the things I remember from childhood. Going up into like Pennsylvania and West Virginia to go skiing. Seeing the mountainside, all the rocks, driving through the mountains. Those are the things that I think about. Yeah, Holiday was depressed for quite a while after he lost his friend. It was pretty sad. So here's an interesting thing about birds. You know, when we have a sick bird, especially when it's going to be either a chronic or a prolonged recovery, we have to also consider their mental health in addition to their physical health. Because you can have a bird recover physically, but they can die anyway due to depression and anxiety and stress. Birds are very susceptible to stress. So, for example, Pumpkin over here, for those who weren't here earlier when I was talking about him, has an eye infection we're currently treating. Now, really wouldn't have to worry too much about Pumpkin. He'd be fine. But he's outside today, even though he really could stay inside, just because he's going to be happier outside. He's going to be more comfortable. And so when Sage, this duck over here, shoo, I think it's getting colder out here, y'all. So you can hardly see her because it's dark in there. But this duck right here, when she had her neck injury, she was not doing well in the house. She wasn't eating. And that was probably largely in part because it was a very painful wound. And luckily we had medication here we could give her for the pain, but we only would keep them on that medication for 3 or 4 days at a time because that pain medication can actually interfere with the operation of their crop, and it will stop their crop from passing the food along. So she wouldn't eat. So what we did to help improve her mental health is we grabbed this little girl right here, Rosemary, who is her sister. They actually came here from another sanctuary in Ohio. And we brought, even though there's nothing wrong with Rosemary, we brought Rosemary in the house. So Sage had an emotional support duck. And so what we would do is we didn't leave Rosemary in the house, but every 2 or 3 days we would bring Rosemary inside, and Rosemary would spend the day with Sage, and that helped Sage recover from her injuries. And so, yeah, these animals are much smarter, and they have a very wide depth of, like a wide array of emotions, and people just don't realize it. I'm not sure what you're saying about the ducks, but yeah, we got ducks all over the place here. That there is a female rowan duck, and she is digging for the most delicious bugs. And these big white ones here are actually geese. These are all geese, the big white ones, like that one there. That's Gimpy Girl. And then that's a Guineafowl. These are probably some of the most exotic birds. Like if you go to zoos and stuff, you'll actually see Guineafowl. It's kind of funny. But they're pretty cool. And then here's some Pekin ducks in here. They're staying up for the day. And then this is my big boy over here. This is Blue. Ooh, it's getting dark out here. Hey Blue, how you doing, my guy? He's a big boy. Hold on a second. I think I got something on my camera lens. There we go. Now, I don't know what's up with that. I got this weird haze at the top of my video. Maybe it's just because I was over here. I don't know. Maybe it's because I was zooming in. Who knows? Look at that guy. Guineafowl are such goofy birds, man. They are so goofy. They're very aggressive towards each other, too. They are very aggressive birds. Not towards people, but towards other birds. So you have to be careful if you have a flock of guineafowl. You can't let a whole flock of guineafowl gang up on the chickens. They'll actually kill a chicken. You got to be careful with that. So we don't let all the guineafowl out at one time. As you see, I have a guineafowl locked up here. I have 2 locked up over there. And I have 2 locked up over there. And they get rotated out every other day. We split them into 2 groups. And every other day they get to come out. Because otherwise there's too many and they'll gang up on the chickens. Let's go over and see what the emus are up to. Oh, look, there's one of my barn cats. Smokey! Smokey, kitty, kitty! Hey, Smokey. What's up, my guy? How you doing, man? He's like, I'm looking for snacks. I don't know where Soot is. How's it going, Smoke? Huh? How you doing, my guy? He's like, I'm in here getting these snacks in here, man. This is their snack box. So that way they can eat and not be in the rain. Hey, my boy. These guys were listed as feral cats at the animal shelter. This one, and I don't know where Soot is. She was here for breakfast, though, so she's off doing something. Oh, I need to go shut that water off. It's been running this whole time. I need to go shut that water off. Then we'll go visit the emus for a minute. Put this bungee cord back. I hear you, girls. Y'all hear them thumping off in the distance? That's a mating call. See my carrots? Isn't that bonkers? I don't think I did too well with them, though. They're a little short and stubby. I never have been able to get the hang of growing carrots. I grew a lot of carrot tops, though. But they're just these little short, stubby carrots. They didn't really produce much. And then that's my kale over there. I'm letting that go to seed head because I always save my kale seeds. I love kale. Mom makes kale chips, and then we also cook it up. It's good stuff. Oh, there's Brew over there. You see her? Hey, Brew kitty. That's another feral that we adopted. Hey, Sam. How you doing, lady? I hear that thumping. Spicy. You guys are being spicy. All that attitude. Sam. In the summertime, when I've got cherry tomatoes growing, they come over here and they eat cherry tomatoes out of my hands. What's going on, Sammy Sam? That's my baby right there. I've had that bird for 19 years. They're really amazing creatures. They can run 30 miles an hour. They can jump like 7 or 8 feet straight up in the air without even trying. They're very powerful birds. Hey, Sam, you being antisocial today? Are you being antisocial today? You see how high their fence is. They could jump over it if they wanted to without even any effort. I know those cats aren't even close to being feral. I can't believe they were. We went to the animal shelter and we basically said, give us a couple of cats that you're never going to be able to adopt out. But those cats would be perfect house cats. They are so nice. They love attention. So these guys have really cool feathers. Their feathers are very soft. You can actually rub against the grain of their feathers and it doesn't hurt them like it would a normal bird. Kind of like rubbing a cat's fur the wrong way. Not that big a deal. And they actually have 2 feathers that come out of each quill, which gives them this extra thick coat of feathers. So like when it rains like this, she's perfectly dry under those feathers. They are working cats. They are very important. They play a very important role in keeping everybody healthy here on the sanctuary. It is natural rodent control. I prefer not to kill anything, but sometimes if you let the rodents get out of control, it becomes a health hazard for your animals. They'll actually bite. The mice will actually bite on your animals, chew their feathers up, bite their legs, cause injuries. They're very destructive. They'll destroy their enclosures. So the cats play a very important role keeping everybody safe and healthy here. Look at that neck. Just the way she can just turn her head around. Sam, you something else, lady. Something else you are. Look at all that. Look at that sassy walk with her head back like that. She's being sassy. All right, Sandy, thanks for hanging out with us. Yeah, we're going to be ending the live here soon anyway, just because it's about time for me to start putting everybody up for the night. I'm going to go inside and take a break, maybe get a warm drink or something, but then I got to put everybody up. Whew. I got a lot of work to do on this garden too, man. So my nephew gave me a hand. I put some tomatoes in here the other day and some marigolds. So hopefully we'll get some tomatoes. This is overgrown, left over from last year. This is my red Russian kale. I actually have a lot of kale in there I need to harvest still. But I let it go to flower heads. And so all of these are going to create these little seed pods. And I'll get like 1 million seeds out of it. It's really easy to do. This was really pretty a week ago. It was all gold, real beautiful yellow flowers. And so each one of these little sticks hanging off of here will be a seed pod. And what I do is I just let them dry out right on the plant. And then you just kind of rub them between your hands over a bucket. And all the seeds fall out, which is super cool. And this is actually 3rd generation kale. I haven't bought kale seeds in years, because I just always save my own seeds. And when you do that over time, the plants become more accustomed to your growing conditions. And so if you save the seeds from your best plants, 5-10 years down the road, you end up with much stronger, healthier, well-producing plants. And then underneath of this cloth is all broccoli. That'll all be broccoli. It was supposed to be beans, but my beans never grew properly, so I just planted broccoli there. This is some kind of volunteer brassica. I don't know what it is. It's probably it might be cabbage or it might be broccoli. I think it's cabbage though. And then this is an old arugula bed that I did the same thing on. You see, these are all seed. Well, this is not arugula. This is some kind of brassica, but this is arugula here. And so these are arugula seed pods. And these will, once they turn brown, you can see they're kind of starting to turn here. Or no, these are actually still growing out. But they'll turn brown and become very brittle. And you can just kind of rub them between your hands and all the seeds will pop out. And then these are going to be snow peas, kind of like a sugar snap pea. No. Anyway, that's the garden tour. These are failed beans. They were supposed to be beans, but I don't know what happened. They just didn't, the seeds weren't very good. All right, but I guess that's about it, y'all. I'm going to go inside and take a break. This live has gone on for 140 minutes. I've had a wonderful time hanging out with y'all. Thank you for watching and your comments and all of your support of the sanctuary. I really appreciate it. I got to go take a break, y'all. I'm tired. So I'm going to end the live, and I will see y'all around. Y'all take care. I hope y'all have a great weekend.